the young and the restless spoilers. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, and honestly, it is a beautiful but absolutely chaotic day in the soap world. I hope you've got a massive cup of coffee ready because we have an explosive, game-changing update from Genoa City to unpack right now. Let's just dive directly into this mess because I am literally vibrating with excitement and anxiety over what just happened on our screens. So let's just get right into it because my head is still spinning from what we just watched. And honestly, I don't even know where to start. But I guess we have to start with Nikki Newman because wow, just wow. For weeks now, we've been watching Victor run around Genoa City like he owns the place, which, okay, he usually does. He's been tearing apart Phyllis, executing this brutal, hostile takeover of Summers' conglomerate, using AI to frame people, and basically acting like the untouchable mob boss he always thinks he is. And we all thought that was the main event. We really did. But the writers completely pulled the rug out from under us today. Nikki is making a move that I don't think anyone saw coming. And it's not just a small move. It is a nuclear option. Because here is the thing about Nikki. She has suddenly come to this terrifying realization that her time is running out, that she doesn't have much time left to live. Maybe it's a new health scare. Maybe it's just the sheer exhaustion of living in Victor's chaotic, toxic orbit for decades. Or maybe it's the fact that her body is just giving up after years of stress. But whatever the deep medical or psychological reason is, Nikki is facing her own mortality right now, and it is hitting her incredibly hard. You can see it in her eyes on screen. She is terrified, not for herself, but for her children. She wants to protect her kids. She looks at her family and she just sees broken pieces everywhere. And who broke them? Victor. It's always Victor. And let's be real, she has a point. Just look at what just happened to Nick a few episodes ago. Nick was literally just tortured in an abandoned gas station garage in Vegas by Matt Clark. He was drugged, tied up, completely broken down, and Adam had to step in and do some really cold, calculated stuff just to keep him alive. Nick hit absolute rock bottom, and Nikki knows this. She knows her son is fragile right now. He is a mess. And instead of Victor being a supportive father, Victor's just out there destroying Phyllis and forcing Michael Baldwin to choose sides. Nikki sees this and she just snaps. She realizes that as long as Victor is in control of Newman Enterprises, her children will never, ever be safe. They will always be pawns in his sick little chess games. So what does she do? She remembers something that I think a lot of the fans on social media, and honestly, maybe even the writers for a hot minute, completely forgot about. Nikki has a massive chunk of power. She owns half the assets in Newman Enterprises. Half. She has 50%. She isn't just the CEO's wife or the co-CEO in name only. She has actual, legitimate, legal voting power and ownership. And she decides she is going to use it, every single drop of it. She is done playing the supportive wife who just sighs and drinks tea while Victor destroys lives. He wants to take the steering wheel, but she knows she can't do it alone, especially if she really believes she is dying or running out of time. So she makes a phone call. And who does she call? Michael Baldwin. Poor Michael Baldwin. I swear, this man needs a vacation, a long one, to an island with no cell service, because right now Michael is already drowning. Victor has him pinned in a corner, forcing him to choose between his oldest loyalty to Victor and his wife Lauren's boss, Phyllis. Michael is sweating bullets over the Summers conglomerate takeover, and then his phone rings, and it's Nikki, and she doesn't just want legal advice. She tells him to come over immediately, in secret, and she tells him to draft a new will, and not just a will, a complete ironclad transfer of power. I mean, just picture this scene. Michael walking into the ranch, looking like he hasn't slept in a month, and Nikki is standing there, looking pale but absolutely resolute. She tells Michael that she is handing everything over to Nick. Everything, all her shares, all her voting rights, her entire half of the Newman Empire. She wants it legally binding. She wants Michael to draft the documents so that the second she signs them, Nick is the undisputed co-owner of the company. Michael is probably having a literal heart attack right there in the living room. He knows what this means. He knows that if Victor finds out he drafted these papers, Victor will destroy him. But Michael also loves Nikki, and he sees how desperate she is. So he does it. He drafts the papers. And then Nikki calls Nick. Oh boy, Nick Newman. Like I said, the guy is barely holding it together. He just got back from the nightmare in Vegas. He is traumatized. He is dealing with his own addiction issues that Adam forced him to confront. He walks into the room, probably expecting another lecture or some family drama, and instead, his mother drops the biggest bomb of his life. She tells him she doesn't have much time left. He tells him she loves him, and then she slides this massive stack of legal documents across the desk and tells him that she is giving him half of Newman Enterprises. But there is a catch. Of course, there is a catch. It's not just a gift. It's a weapon. Nikki looks Nick dead in the eye and tells him the ultimate goal. The reason she is doing this, they are going to fire Victor. Yes, you heard me right. They want to fire Victor Newman from his own company. I actually gasped when I realized what they were plotting. I mean, how many times have we seen someone try to oust Victor? It never works. It literally never works. But this time it feels different because it's Nikki, and it's legal. She has the 50%, and she is giving it to Nick. And together, they actually have the majority power to vote Victor out of the CEO chair and kick him out of the building. And Nick, you can see the conflict in him. Part of him wants nothing to do with the company. He always says he hates the corporate games. But another part of him, the part that is angry, the part that was just broken in Vegas, the part that hates what his father does to people, that part is listening. He sees his mother, who thinks she is dying, begging him to protect the family. How can he say no? He can't. He signs the papers, or at least he agrees to the plan. And suddenly, Nick Newman is the most powerful man in Genoa City, and he and his mother are officially staging a coup. But of course, this is Genoa City. There are no secrets. None. Zero. You can't sneeze in this town without someone reporting it to Victor. And somehow, Victor finds out maybe Michael left a paper trail. Maybe Victor's new AI program that he used against Phyllis flagged something in the Newman servers. Or maybe Victor just has a sixth sense for betrayal. But he finds out about the plan. He finds out that Nikki and Nick are plotting to fire him and take over Newman Enterprises. And guys, the reaction, the absolute unhinged volcanic reaction from Victor. Victor goes crazy. And I don't mean his usual, I am disappointed in you angry. I mean full on throwing things, screaming at the top of his lungs, crazy. He is pacing round his office like a caged lion. He is furious. The betrayal is just too deep. His wife, his beloved Nikki, who he thought was just going through a phase or whatever, and his son, his namesake, conspiring to strip him of his life's work, to kick him out of Newman Enterprises, the company he built from the ground up. He cannot fathom the disrespect. He cannot comprehend that they would actually try to do this to him. And you know what makes it worse? The Jack Abbott factor. Remember last week, Nikki and Jack were caught in a compromising position by Diane? Nikki has been leaving her fingerprints all over Jack's new plot to attack Victor. So in Victor's mind, this isn't just Nikki protecting the kids. In his paranoid, narcissistic brain, he probably thinks Jack Abbott is behind this whole entire thing. He thinks Jack has poisoned his wife and son against him to steal his company, which makes Victor 10 times more dangerous. He isn't just going to fight back. He is going to go to war. He is going to scorch the earth. I honestly don't know how this is going to end. What were they thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well? Victor Newman does not get fired. He fires you. He destroys you. But at the same time, Nikki has the legal high ground here. She has the shares. If Nick actually goes through with this, they could physically lock Victor out of the building. But what about Nick's mental state? He is an addict right now. He is traumatized. Is he really in any condition to run a multi-billion-dollar global conglomerate? No, of course not. But maybe that's Nikki's blind spot. She loves him so much she thinks this will save him, when really the stress of fighting Victor might just push Nick over the edge completely. And let's zoom out and talk about the bigger pattern here for a second. This fits the show's usual style of Newman family civil wars, sure. But this storyline feels different because of the raw emotion behind it. Nikki genuinely believes she is running out of time. That gives her a desperation we haven't seen in years. She isn't doing this for power or ego. She's doing it out of a primal, maternal instinct to shield her children from a monster. And she is willing to destroy her own marriage, her own legacy, to do it. It's tragic, really. It's like watching a train crash in even slow motion and you can't look away. But also, can we just take a moment to appreciate the sheer chaos of everyone's lives right now? Victor is trying to destroy Phyllis. Michael is caught in the middle of that. Diane is furious at Jack. Patty Williams is back in town terrorizing Kyle. Sally is hiding a massive baby secret from Billy. And now the Newman Empire is literally splitting down the middle. It is a mess. A beautiful, dramatic, clunky mess. And I am here for it. But I am also so stressed out, like I need a nap after watching this. So, what happens next week? Honestly, I don't even want to guess. Victor is probably going to counterattack with something ruthless. He might try to have Nick declared mentally incompetent because of the Vegas drug stuff. Oh my God, he totally would do that, wouldn't he? He would use Nick's trauma against him to invalidate the transfer of power. That sounds exactly like Victor and Nikki. If she really is sick, the stress of this war is going to destroy her. I just hope the writers don't drag this out for 6 months. We need answers. We need to see that boardroom showdown. And I swear, if Michael Baldwin gets disbarred over this, I am going to riot. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. The stakes have literally never been higher. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because my brain is just fried from processing all this drama.